Looking at some waiver wire additions heading into week 2, starting off at the quarterback position with Daniel Jones, who's only owned in 5% of ESPN leagues and 10% of sleeper leagues. He looked really good on Sunday, completing 76% of his passes, adding 26 yards on the ground, along with 2 rushing touchdowns. And when we go back to his time in New York, he did bring some upside in the rushing game. It still remains to be seen whether he is a real thing in Indianapolis. He does get a tough matchup in week 2 versus the Denver Broncos, so we'll get to see whether this really is real or if he's just a streamer based on matchups. Moving over to the running back position with Dylan Sampson, Jerome Ford saw the majority of snaps, but Dylan Sampson saw the majority of work in this backfield for the Cleveland Browns. Only 12 for 26 on the ground, but saw a 17% target share, hauling in all 8 of his targets for 64 yards. Judkins did get his contract over the weekend, but it's going to take some time to integrate him into this offense as he missed so much time. I think Dylan Sampson still has a role in this offense, especially in the receiving game. And then we got Trey Benson, and while he is rostered in over 50% of leagues, he's just over that 50% threshold mark. So check to see if he's available in your league. If he is, he should be rostered, especially as a James Conner handcuff. Now moving over to Los Angeles with Quentin Johnson, who saw a 20% target share, hauling in 2 of those targets for touchdowns. He was still 3rd on the team in targets behind Keenan Allen and Ladd McConkey, but was 2nd in routes run and led the team in end zone targets. Over in New England, Kayshon Boutte tied the Patriots in target share with Hunter Henry, but led the team in first read percentage, looking like a favorite in the receiving game for Drake May. They do get the Dolphins in week 2, who gave up the 11th most points to the wide receiver position in week 1. And we got Cedric Tillman over in Cleveland, who was 2nd on the team in routes run and tied for 2nd in target share. This Browns offense will have to throw a bunch to stay in games, leaving plenty of volume for Tillman and the pass catchers in Cleveland. And now we got Calvin Austin of the Pittsburgh Steelers, who was 3rd in target share and had a 2.8 yards per route run, all while playing an 81% snap share, 2nd highest amongst the wide receivers. Could be a very sneaky stash, especially in deeper leagues. Hunter Henry at the tight end position was tied with Kayshon Boutte in targets and only owned in 37% of sleeper leagues, finished as tight end 15 on the week. And the last one up at the tight end position, we got Juwan Johnson, who was tied with Chris Olave in routes run for the Saints and saw a 23.9% target share and finished as tight end 1 on the week. This Saints team should be playing from behind the majority of the time, leaving plenty of volume in the passing game for Juwan Johnson at the tight end position. And now finishing off with some defensive units heading into week 2, we got the Cowboys who faced the Giants. The Giants allowed pressure on 37% of dropbacks, the 2nd highest in the league, and the Cowboys generated pressure on 35% of dropbacks, which was 3rd highest amongst defenses. And now we got the 49ers as they face the Saints in week 2. This is the 3rd largest spread on the week, with the Saints having the 3rd lowest team implied points heading into week 2. And to round off this list, we have the Rams, who face rookie Cam Ward in week 2, who struggled in week 1, seeing pressure on 36% of his dropbacks and sacked 6 times in the game against the Denver Broncos. This Rams defense was all over Stroud in week 1 and should find more success in week 2 as they face off